Hi there, welcome to the Need to Know, a weekly wrap-up show of all the biggest news from this week.
We'll see if it's weekly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're trying it out. We're gonna see what you guys think about it. But you guys actually gave us the idea for this show.
Yes, thank you.
In that poll you did forever ago.
Remember?
The poll. Everybody remembers the poll.
I remember the poll.
It's great.
Hey, who are we all?
Oh, kicking it off over here is your old pal Sam. You can find me at Sam Basher on Twitter. I talk about all kinds of nerdy things, but who's this?
Oh, this is Eric Voss. Hi, I'm Eric Voss, as you know me from our breakdowns at EA Voss on Twitter, and you can just click to some other video. You'll probably have me hosting it.
My name's Philip Molina.
Well done.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Short, to the point,
Yeah.
concise.
It's
I love
the
it.
information they need to know.
I'm Maud Garrett, and I'm wearing the coolest shirt you've seen today.
Oh, that is a pretty cool shirt.
Fight me, Sam.
Yeah.
it's got the
You know what's
thing on
interesting is Eric only has 3 shirts.
Sorry. 3 shirts, 2 shirts too many.
Real quick, this show is we're not just going to talk about the things that you need to know about. We definitely will get into all of that, and by watching the show, you will have the information you need to know to get through your week of news without having to watch or go anywhere else. Also, we're going to give you that new Rockstars nugget of information that we dove in and did some research on, just so you know even a little bit more. You can impress people at parties. But the other thing that we're really excited about doing is getting you guys into the show. We're starting to use this app called Stardust to do that. It's an app it's almost kind of like a Snapchat kind of thing or something, where you're posting videos, but you are only talking about movies and TV shows and the nerdy stuff that
so
we
cool.
all care about.
Yeah.
We're on it. You can look us up on it. But the way that we are trying to incorporate it here is that throughout our videos, throughout a Need to Know episode, you're going to see you guys posts in that app. We're going to share that, and we're going to be reacting to the stuff that you're sending us in that app. Your video will show up here on our channel in our video. So I think it's super exciting because I'm going to get to know what you guys look like also, and what your bedrooms look like. But then also we'll be posting on there too, which is exciting.
It's super easy to use. It's just video. It's super authentic. Like right when you get out of a movie theater, you can just click record. It's awesome.
But you get like 30 seconds, right?
30 seconds.
So it's just supposed to be your raw, genuine, immediate reaction. And it's kind of nice when you're sitting there and you're like, I don't have a camera set up. I don't have a studio. I don't have the professional means to make YouTube content.
Right. Yeah.
No, this is about sharing your fandom and being like, I need to tell someone about this particular thing. And in this show, I'm going to show you so many trailers as well. And when you see these trailers for the first time, you can jump onto Stardust and be like, well, I think this. But you guys are doing the same thing as well. You're using the app through New Rockstars, and you're posting your behind-the-scenes reactions around the office.
Yeah, you can actually find us at New Rockstars. I've already posted a couple videos that kind of go into my crazy theories and the kind of thoughts
You are
I'm having.
so weird in them, and we'll see some of it
Right.
as we go. But that's actually what's cool about it too, is the fact that it's not the way we make our YouTube videos. Our YouTube videos are highly researched and thought out and edited and all that. These are like super raw, and you see how weird we are in the hallway and in the lunchroom.
We're real fans. It's really cool.
Yeah,
It's a very authentic experience.
Yeah, so we're just really excited to have you guys start using it, so you can send us your reactions, and then we'll put them into the show. So we're going to see a couple of videos this episode, but we didn't tell you guys this yet. So in the future, it'll be you guys. This time, it's going to be some of us and some other people that we found.
So get on the show.
Yeah, let's
Do it.
jump right into our main topic. Guys, we have some breaking news this morning. We have a new first trailer for The New Mutants. It's a horror film.
I love this trailer, by the way.
it looks
I
great.
just posted my Stardust reaction to it. You guys, the New Mutants trailer. Exactly what I've been preaching for and asking for forever. People look at comic book movies and superhero movies and they're like, yeah, that's a genre. No, a genre is horror, a genre is drama, a genre is comedy, not superhero. This is a superhero horror movie. I'm so excited.
Look at you.
Yeah.
You're on it.
Super excited about it.
This is an adaptation of The New Mutants from the Marvel X-Men comics, but it's going to be a horror film, psychological horror film directed by Josh Boone, the guy who did The Fault in Our Stars.
Right.
You might know.
Oh, easy
But
jump.
That's
Well, okay.
totally the same genre.
So what's tough to point out there, it's him, but it's also the writer who did The Fault in Our Stars. But the writer who did Fault in Our Stars, it's a writing team. They also did 500 Days of Summer. And they've done a couple of different things, and these guys, I've actually like kind of obsessed with them because they have this really interesting mode that they get into. That's the way I write too, where they hate themselves while they're writing, and they're very like they beat themselves up. But it ends up with these like really raw, authentic characters, which is why they had them do Fault in Our Stars, because it's really true to being a teenager, and that's why they're like, these people really get authentic teenage emotions, and New Mutants is all about the youth, the younger class, and writing that authentically is super interesting. I thought that actually was brilliant, except for the horror thing. Is like, oh, well, that's going to be weird.
Yeah.
But it also is a great choice.
Well, they made me cry in all those movies, so
Yeah.
if that's what they want. Like,
And
they're
you just
gonna nail
cry
it.
from horror and being scared now.
Or anything, because Sam cries a lot.
So this is obviously set in the
great.
X-Men universe, but where does it fall into?
Well, yeah, let's give some background on who are the New Mutants, or what
Yes.
are the New Mutants. They were originally introduced in 1982 as the younger students, kind of the new class.
No one was born? No one was born. I mean, I'm
Sam,
I'm 21.
What's 16? Yeah.
I'm 19.
Yeah.
I have always existed. There's pictures of me from the Civil War.
Just in the center of the frame.
This was kind of the new class, right, of Charles Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. But in this adaptation, this mental hospital is not Professor X's school. These are all mutant kids now who are held against their will in this terrifying hospital. You may recognize some of these cast members. They include Maisie Williams, Arya Stark from Game of Thrones.
Yes, this is our girl, but I have to know, knowing that this is from 500 Days of Summer, is she now the Manic Pixie Dream Girl?
We'll see.
I think she's manic and in a mental institution. And she
she's a
might be
pixie?
in a dream. Yeah. So
well,
yes.
one of her Mary Sue qualities, if she's going to follow that trope, is she can shapeshift into a wolf form. Her moniker is Wolfsbane.
Oh, is that a little bit
that
on the
sounds
nose?
familiar, right?
Yeah, on the
Yeah,
snout.
she was cast.
Yeah, on the snooty?
Yeah.
You may also recognize Anya Taylor-Joy from Split. Another good psychological
this actress.
horror.
She's great.
Awesome.
And Witch.
She's
Oh,
so
right,
good in
Witch.
Witch.
Yeah,
right.
right.
They also got Philip in there that I love. Little evil goat Philip.
Oh, yeah.
Witch, he's in there. Not this evil goat Philip. Evil goat Philip. Yeah. The casting on this is like insanely great. And she is honestly killing it with the thrillers.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. She's great.
They've got a young actor from almost every popular franchise.
Yeah,
right
right.
now, every
Stranger
popular
Things
movie.
guy too.
Yeah, Sam Guthrie. He's the oldest kid in the group. He plays Cannonball. That's his comic book character. He can generate thermochemical energy and propel his body through
But who
heat.
can't?
You know,
Yeah.
make him near invulnerable. Right. I know. Yeah. Join
Can
the
he
club.
turn into a wolf?
Yeah. There's also the main kid. Really is Danielle Moonstar, played by Blu Hunt. I think we have her right here. She is Psyche. The character was later called Mirage in the comics. She can project illusions of her enemies' greatest fears and weaknesses. One of her first manifestations was a vision of a demonic bear who killed her parents.
I'm out. Bye.
All right.
Wait, she made a vision
What do you have against
of
Native
a bear?
Americans?
That was a vision
No,
she
I-
experienced from losing her parents who went missing on a hunting trip, and then she was able to see the thing that she believed killed them.
Oh,
See, this is what I do when I'm watching horror movies. I picture the worst thing that could happen, and
Right.
it usually doesn't happen, but I'm already too scared and scarred, and I have to walk
Did
away.
you see it?
No!
Oh, okay, you're not gonna want what I have to tell about my story then at all. Real quick, also the what's her name? Anya
Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, she's Colossus's sister.
Oh, right,
in the
yeah.
comics.
Magic,
Just,
yeah.
Do you believe in magic?
yeah. But I think the real thing that we all are super excited about, and what you guys are probably pumped about, is the horror elements of this.
Definitely
that's what I was talking about. Yeah, that's what she's clearly the most excited about. That's what I was talking about in my Stardust post, where it's like everyone talks about superhero and comic book movies as a genre, and it's like no. Those are characters. That's not a genre. Put characters in any genre, and you have, a bank robbery and a comedy is very different from bank robbers and a drama. This is the same thing. We're putting them into a horror, and I love that. I'm
But
so excited
do
about
you
that.
think that the genre of superhero has become uplifting, saves the day, hope? Because that's all we've ever seen before.
Yeah, no, there's definitely like a trope. I don't know. Yeah, it's a genre.
The trope of hope.
The trope hope trope.
Hope trope.
Yeah, I kind of like. Maybe it's something about the X-Men because there's like an army of different characters, and they all kind of have their different feel to them. Like like if you guys watched Legion on FX, that was another show that was kind of a psychological horror and within the X-Men universe, and it was
Horror.
so great.
Please, Americans. Horror.
Horror.
Otherwise, it sounds like you're talking about whores.
There's like 8 R's in that word.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
gonna
the
say all of
question
them.
of the day.
Yeah.
What are we actually talking about?
Why am I so
Horrors
scared
and,
right now
horror.
at this table?
Yeah. But I feel like Legion is straight up a direct influence on this. Like even in the yellow fabric that they're wearing, it's like it's not spandex. It's just yellow color influence on like a thick wool. It's also in an insane asylum, whatever. It very much has a lot of Legion in it visually.
And both Legion and it looks like this trailer seem to be borrowing some from Stanley Kubrick with The Shining.
Yeah.
Like the reveal of what looks like the villain here definitely looks like that creepy shot from The Shining with the guy in the mask doing something.
What about also?
Oh yeah. Wait, why is there like literally a serial killer in this?
in there.
Yeah.
I'll get to that in a sec.
Yeah.
Oh.
But there's a One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, isn't it? With like the nurse Ratchet, who kind of like is so manipulative and in control, but she's the one that is like the most horrific thing out of the whole thing. I mean, I'm also a video game player, and one of the games that I have played that it's like, okay, everything about this is Nope, is Outlast, and you start as a journalist exploring an abandoned insane asylum, and now that this is in a mental institution and everyone's held against their will, I'm like, ooh, has a no sound. Nice and loud. No, for me.
You also, we were talking earlier, we're talking about how, so we were wondering, like, is it a good idea to jump genre? And I'm very excited to jump genre. And Eric was reminded me that we very recently had another superhero movie jump genre with Logan.
Right, yeah.
That's what X-Men needs. It's been around for 10 no, longer, right?
Yeah. The cartoons were in the 90s.
Way longer.
But I wasn't born, so
but like,
I heard it was really cool.
You were
and
born
the
in
theme
the
song
2000s?
was yes.
Yeah. I think you. Well, her math isn't great because she's so young.
Well, and I'm ancient. I remember being around when the original westerns were.
When the
letter X
chromosome
was letter X added to the alphabet.
I was the first mutant. I was there with Apocalypse.
You were Apocalypse.
Yeah.
That's Oscar Isaac. So, okay, I'm going to get into real quick. This is our little new Rockstars, like, deeper point here. That the things that we're trying to see, we're trying to put together, like, what kind of horror movie is this? What exactly is going on? There's a guy in the mask, but there's also the Frighteners kind of thing coming through the walls and whatnot. Right. So Frighteners came out on my birthday, which again, 19 years old. So the
Can we?
Oh yeah.
Sure.
We'll get off of that.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm still
yeah.
singing.
So that's actually a good point. Well, the villain of the story is known as the Demon Bear.
Well.
And this is from the comics, but to be clear, like, this is the equivalent of like the Purple Man to Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
And then the importance of the arc is like the Dark Phoenix saga in the X-Men stories. Like, this is the story you tell when you do the New Mutant story. So I actually don't want to tell you too much because it's a really short saga. You could jump in and read all of the issues very quickly.
Let's say I'm not going to.
I'm still not going to spoil it for you, but I'm going to make you go with us to go watch it, and then we'll put your reaction live on Stardust.
Hell yeah.
Everyone check out. But basically, this is one of these creatures that is kind of a shapeshifter, can teleport, can jump around, appears a bunch of different things. So, like, I love in the comics, this is its first, like, official appearance. It's a bear cloud, but it's a fairy bear cloud.
Falcon, the luck dragon? You look so
Kind of looks like that
mean.
too. In this moment, she's like, he killed my parents, and then he pretty much kills her. She ends up in the hospital for a lot of the saga, actually. But it's just like this cloud, which is kind of like.
But she creates it.
So here's the interesting thing: is it real or not? Is a big question of it. And it turns out there's definitely an element of maybe you're fueling it by believing in it, kind of thing. So to me, it was very similar to Pennywise from It, which is why I was wondering if you had issues with Pennywise, but you might not even know who that is. And then it also reminds me of Shadow King a little bit, which is another connection I was imagining that was kind of like a Legion kind of thing. I love that because not only is this kind of like a Shutter Island psychological thriller,
that's what I got that
kind
I've
of thing.
seen Shutter Island.
And you probably loved it.
It wasn't awful.
So you can make it
go. So you might do this, but this is so much scarier because they put a monster in a mental institution that thrives on your dark thoughts. It's like, I love that. How do you like that?
Sign me up.
Great. And also, by the way, the New Mutants, if you've ever cringed when you kind of like, oh, it's like kids or whatever, this is the exact story where they kind of realized when they were making the comics, they were like, man, our New Mutants thing is kind of like for babies. It kind of sucks. So then they came up with this exact story to be like, this is the New Mutants growing up. So this is exactly the version that I would want to see.
You're gonna watch it?
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna be there night one. Horror movies about time travel. Those I'm there night one no matter what.
I'm excited for it. I think, though, some of the horror elements get kind of taken out of it. Like, it kind of it deflated itself a little bit because you're like, oh, we know what the element is that's scary here. It's a person. Like, you're like, there's no mystery, really. You're just kind of trying to pick out who is doing this with your brain.
But it shapeshifts.
It shapeshifts, yeah, but if you know who's playing who, then you're just like, oh, that's the person who's the threat. So it kind of kneecaps itself a little bit, but I'm still excited for it.
Yeah, I'll be watching it. I mean, I feel like I've blocked out some childhood memories from being imprisoned in a mental institution, so maybe this will help trigger and remember some things that I need to process.
You were imprisoned in a mental institution as a child?
I feel like I was.
But again, we're talking about like BC.
Right, yeah. This is ancient times.
Look, I feel like in this world, the word mutant has been said so many times. You know, when you say the same word over and over again, it loses its meaning. I feel like mutant has been that. So for it to pivot with its genre, I'm about that. It just so happens that the genre that they've chosen, I won't have anything to do with.
Go with us.
And I'm torn because I love Maisie Williams and she's going to turn into a wolf, and I would love to see that.
Yeah, exactly.
But like with all horror things, you watch it and then you tell me about it, and that's enough for me.
So no.
No.
So
let's move on. I want to do something really, really cool here because I want to do a trivia question. And this is not just involving you guys and your knowledge and what you know, but it's you as well. So as you know, Fimo and I were on Westeros Weekly, and now that that's wrapped, I want an excuse to talk about Game of Thrones still.
Oh,
that's kind of easy. Yeah, we love that medieval bloodshed here. So our question that we're going to pose to you is, how many total deaths did we see, now this is character screen deaths, did we see on Game of Thrones? Not in just the last season that we had, the entire Game of Thrones, season 1 to season 7. How many people do you think died? Now, that's a huge thing to say, so I'm going to give you a little bit of specifics here.
Okay.
We're going to count all major characters that have died, which is already like 462. Supporting characters, background extras, White Walkers.
Background extras.
Yeah,
background
extras.
Good, I've been counting those. I'm glad that I've been keeping track of that.
Peasant 6 was my favorite. We're going to do White Walkers, Whites as well, dire wolves, dragons, even more females crying.
I know that one. I know that one.
How many dragons?
I know that one. Yeah.
We're also, actually, there's a good thing to bring up the dragon, because we're also going to count those that have died but do come back to life. And we are going to include the characters that technically died off screen, but their bodies showed up after. So there is evidence
as long as there's body. I thought you meant like literally everyone in the world who died.
So those times where someone casually off-screen mentions, oh, that's right, the battle of this, where this amount of people died, that's not going to be counted.
Okay.
So it has to be directly affiliated with the show. Yeah. So even if they died off-screen, but we know that they're dead because we see them later, that does count. When you do see sweeping shots of fire.
Are you guys trying to figure it out too at home? Like, are you keeping track of this too? Yeah. I'm starting to do math tallying.
I'm counting the number of faces on the screen.
But I mean,
I think it's gonna be too low.
Start
maybe that's
not even all the main characters.
Like,
what?
Season 7's fresh in my mind, and I kind of have. So in Westeros Weekly, we actually did a death count at the end of each episode, but that's just 1 out of 7 seasons.
All right, what's our time limit?
We'll actually come back with the correct answer, because there is an answer that we have. I don't even know it, but there is a correct answer.
For our current guesses right now, how much time do we have?
I think
short.
Oh,
not long.
Okay.
10 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to count to 10.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I will say 1,000. 1,000 will be my guess.
But you said background extras.
Including background extras, I think there's,
all
in Whites, like, there's a lot of,
I'm going to say 10,000.
10,000, okay.
10,050.
You're that shitty person.
Right.
Excuse me, that's how you win.
Is it closest without going over?
Deal? I don't know.
It's just closest, right?
Closest, yeah. Either way, I think closest would
what
work.
if it's 10,025? Then
you both win.
Yeah.
All right.
Or we have to go on set for Game of Thrones and kill someone on set.
Right, yeah.
I'm actually going to say 3,700.
You don't know the number?
No, I have no idea.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Someone in the room knows the number. You know the number? Okay. I was like, are we just gonna like now go count this? You made it way too big.
3,770.
3770, the year that America gets remade. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
I look forward to that.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
so but hold on, there has to be some sort of stakes here.
Of course.
Right?
Oh, sure.
So
Of course.
Sure, why
whoever
not?
wins, I'm going to say, gets to close out the show because we're doing our little sign-offs, but you get to do it on behalf of everyone and say whatever
Okay.
you want about them.
Oh.
And you cannot be offended. The person that they're talking
Hopefully
about
their
can't
Twitter
get
handles
upset.
included.
Maybe,
what you want to
who
say
knows?
about them.
The loser, though, has to drink the rest of my water.
Oh.
And if it's you, you just drink your own water.
This is my game. We didn't have a thing. I had to make something up.
Just a quick side note to the audience, really quick. One of the reasons we scheduled to do this show a different day, and Maud was sick and couldn't make it because she had bronchitis for a long time, and she's just getting over her
3
bronchitis
weeks in bed, baby.
now.
Boom.
These are real stakes here on the Need to Know.
I believe
thing
the
I
original
can't die.
stakes was wearing a bucket on your head,
Yeah.
but sure, we'll go with
Where's
that.
the bucket?
No bucket.
There is no
Yeah.
bucket.
No bucket. Fine. I got it. I know. I've watched it. I know. I feel confident.
All right. Let's move on, and we'll deal with that later. This is gonna be a disaster at the end of the show here, guys. The other huge, biggest thing that
Yes.
happened this week, obviously, was a porg biting my head. Is the Last Jedi trailer,
Yes.
the second major one. So this trailer, like, blew everyone away, but also blew away the last trailers. Even though the movie's like already gonna come out, this one for some reason, like, people were like, hype! And super
Those
hyping.
that watched it, though, I actually had to do a poll on my Twitter saying he wants to avoid everything because
of Rian
Rian
Johnson.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Little
he
bit of a
said
slip
to-
up.
He said to avoid it, right?
No,
Yeah.
well, this is the thing. It was definitely interpreted that way. But what he meant was if you don't want to know anything else and you want to go into the movie blind, then don't watch it, which is
Right.
like obvious common sense,
Well,
right?
yeah.
But then everyone said, we can't watch the trailer now. He told us not to watch the trailer.
But
then
then
he changes his mind, saying like, "Oh, I changed my mind. Watch it," which feels like Kathleen Kennedy had a gun to his head, like, "Tell me
Yeah.
to watch it. We need
Three
views
watch
on
it.
this."
She has force powers and she's got her lightning fingertips ready. Yeah.
So we're gonna assume you did watch it. Not only did you hopefully watch it, you also probably watched our breakdown of it.
Right.
Eric went through and tore it apart into every little piece that he could, and found a lot of like real cool stuff. But it is, again, like, you know, a choice you have to make is this giving away too much? For some people, though, it wasn't that we looked too closely, it was giving away too much. They're getting these vibes from the movie now based on this trailer that this movie's gonna be a repeat of Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
And
Well, when you have a trilogy, which has been around for decades, and it was the most successful version of Star Wars that we've seen to date, we noticed that with Force Awakens, what do you know? They're building a giant Death Star called the Starkiller Base. And it's just like, wait, we have seen this before. So the natural assumption is, well, we've seen Rey. She's unleashing her Jedi powers at the moment. She's getting a trainer. Oh, we've seen this before.
And he's a
the
reluctant
Dagobah.
hermit, and she's
Yeah.
the eager student.
But this is a Rocky
Yeah.
episode where it's the whole movie's a
Right.
montage of, like, you know, being better. And then, of course, we'll see the end of everything where it's not the enemy that we thought it was, Kylo Ren. It'll be Snoke, who is this entity, like the Emperor, you know, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
there's also like a Battle of Hoth kind of like equivalent
Oh,
that we
sure,
see
yeah.
with
on
the
Crate, right?
yeah,
Which
oh,
is
but-
salt. Is
the
it?
Yeah, it's a salt covering a red soil base.
So salty.
And they got that little
yeah, but you also have the
wolf
ice
thing.
wolves, which are
Ice, yeah.
like, I want those on my Lisa Frank binder.
I've been
Like,
so
on the
just
cover
on
of that.
behalf of everyone on my timeline feed, actually, it's not ice because it's crystallized. It's crystal.
So you're insulting the people on your timeline.
Yeah, because I got
No.
corrected because I did the same
you?
thing. I was like, it looks like an evolved Pokemon, like an ice one. Ugh, actually. But I like that because then I get to do it to you guys.
My
Yeah.
money is on that's a snack for Chewbacca, and he's gonna eat the porg.
That's why it's like, no!
So here's the question, because I actually don't want to debate too much the details of what exactly is going to be in this movie, because I was watching your Stardust post about it, which actually, let's show that real quick.
Yeah.
Hi guys, so I just rewatched the Last Jedi trailer probably like 5 times back to back, and the more I think about it, I really think we are being misled. I think Disney deceived us with this trailer. I went back to rewatch Rogue One, and I realized that most of the footage that I remember loving from that trailer wasn't in the final cut of the film. I think that's exactly what they're doing with The Last Jedi. I think characters we think are talking to other characters aren't talking to them, and I think it's gonna be a whole new movie when we watch it.
So you think that the trailer's misleading us, and it's totally definitely not the story that's coming up. And also, you're really weird in the hallway.
Yeah, I was really loud. The camera cut off when people kind of poked their head out the door. Like, is this guy okay?
I have an opinion on the matter.
The trailer's lying.
They just gave me their tinfoil, and I just started making a hat. And
Yeah, well, they had tinfoil, so they're also a little
right.
weird.
We work at a tinfoil factory. Okay. So here's my kind of thought. I know I sound a bit like a conspiracy theorist, but like, look, we've been breaking down trailers on this channel for a while,
That's what you do.
That's what we do. It's kind of our bread and butter. We look closely at his face.
That's me before makeup.
But I think this trailer was edited intentionally to be deceptive. I think there are shots where voiceover is happening over like other characters that we think Snoke is talking to Kylo, but it's done. Yeah, you're right. It's been done before. Like when we saw with Rogue One, it ended. That first trailer ended when we thought with us thinking that Jen Erso was going to switch to the dark side, and then half of that trailer footage wasn't even in the final cut of the movie. And I think that's just what Disney's doing. They have the budget to overshoot stuff and shoot stuff specifically for the trailer, and then the final cut of this movie, half of this is going to be on the cutting room floor.
That's
so basically,
it's lying.
Yeah, and it is invoking a sense of distrust and mistrust. And so it's like, well, we don't even know what you're going to do, Disney, because you keep playing with our emotions.
Or this is just like part of the narrative. They want us to get in the theater. They want us to get excited. So they're intentionally cutting this trailer to make it feel like it's going to be an Empire Strikes Back thing, because they know that we all love that film. Not like they really need an excuse to get us in the theater. I already bought my ticket.
Me too.
Same.
But like, I think when we go see this movie, there's going to be a surprisingly different narrative. These final two shots, when it looks like Kylo's reaching out to Rey, as you watch in the breakdown, I point out that those are from completely different scenes.
Yes, and he's got his little patch is gone.
Right. It's from a different part of the movie. So I think we're all going to be very surprised by what movie we end up seeing. It's going to feel very different, I think.
So I want to hear from everyone else. What's a pro and a con that you had from the trailer? Sam?
Porg is good. Con is that I fell asleep both times I watched Force Awakens.
I know.
And so I've seen the whole thing. I just fell asleep at different parts. Just don't make me fall asleep. I mean, like, that's the con.
Don't make me regret bringing you here.
You're talking to like three really strong Star Wars fans at the table here.
We'll get the Flash in a second. I'll get angry.
Okay. For me, my pro was the new music. What John Williams is doing with that kind of like deconstructed Imperial March was amazing. And I was just like, this is what I'm about. And I usually don't listen to the music. Usually that's not the first thing I noticed, and it wasn't this one. My con is, good Lord, I can't stand Adam Driver. Like, not even a little bit. Not even. And every time I watch The Force Awakens, when he removes his helmet, the cinema laughed. Like, there was a raucous of laughter.
You were like,
and
what? It's
in The Force Awakens.
And it was
maybe
comedic.
Because of his hair.
But no, because he looks like a mopey foreskin.
Whoa!
They all laughed for that reason.
Quote
they all
it.
said that
Put
the
that
same
out on
time.
Twitter.
Wait. Did you say that when he removed his helmet in the theater? Because that would also ruin that experience.
He looks like a mopey foreskin. Oh, that girl's funny.
Yeah.
No. I actually thought of it when I saw this trailer again, and I said it out loud, and all of my male roommates went, "That's really uncalled for." And I'm like, how many people?
How dare you?
How many male roommates?
All of them. No, I really don't like this. Him as, I know his character is supposed to be disgruntled, and he's really powerful and he's trying to tune it.
Sorry.
I think other people could have done the job better.
So
pro, it's pretty.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
Yeah,
honestly, a lot of the
And you
stuff
can
are
tell
really
Ryan
great.
Johnson's take on it. You can.
Yeah. Well, so my thing is that I really enjoy about it is like whether or not it's gonna be like Empire or not. I'm probably a Force Awakens apologist about like that was really similar to A New Hope, and it's like my thing is still they did that by design to reintroduce us into the Star Wars world. They did a lot of great things by doing that. If we get stuff that's similar to Empire Strikes Back, the best Star Wars movie,
it's a win.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
And here's the real reason why, not just because it's the best Star Wars movie, but because it's the one with the darkest themes, and it begins that path into the darkness, honestly, which is the most interesting element of the whole thing. Any good story about a hero is not only about the times that he's succeeding, but it's the times where he's challenged and he's the most scared, and he goes to his lowest low. And that is what's going to happen for her, I think. Here we're going to see almost the reverse of the Mary Sue element. People are like, oh, but it's such a cutesy, like she's going to triumph or whatever. And it's like, it doesn't look like she's going to triumph that well here. And I'm very excited to see the realistic take on that.
And I'm noticing the new Force power, especially with the dark side, is just legit torture. I'm going to lift you up and literally like make you scream from the inside.
Well, let's move on to our by the numbers segment that's related to this Star Wars thing. I don't know if you guys saw this going around this week, but there is a chart that we saw that lists all the different planets that are in different Star Wars movies. Which movies have the most planets / locations? And we find that topping the chart is Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, by Mr. Farr.
Oh, yeah. With
so that's why that movie's so good.
It's so good. They're jumping around planet to planet. We don't get a sense of... I think a lot of it, honestly, was from this Order 66 montage, right? And then from the Clone Wars. We saw, like, 10 different planets, right, in that 2 minutes.
But wait, so that's the top one. What's the second?
Second is Rogue One, right?
One.
Which I wouldn't really think
as... the third? Is it this, or is it Force Awakens or Return of the Jedi?
Well, The Force Awakens, we see 6 planets, but I don't know if you see this red stripe section here. There were 3 new planets added there. Why is that? Well, that's because when George Lucas recut the end of Return of the Jedi, he added those shots of Coruscant and Naboo and Bespin of showing people celebrating. So depending on which version of the film you're going off of, because he wanted to show the entire galaxy celebrating this game changer battle, I guess.
George Lucas put the boo in Naboo though. Wah, wah. I heard it. I heard that noise. Anyway.
Yeah.
This is my reaction to the joke.
Wow.
So what's our real question here? Does this help the movies? Does this hurt the movies? Do we need planet hopping? I mean, it's Star Wars, right? So it's like you need some amount of planet hopping. But is it how much about you caring about a Star Wars film is you caring about seeing different new planets?
Nah. I mean, just a little bit. I mean, I love universe building. That's one of the coolest parts for me watching it, because as a kid, I was like, as fun as it is to like learn the story of the original, not the original, excuse me, episodes 1 through 3. As a kid, I had fun watching them. I know they're bad now, but I loved when they'd go to like the world where it's always raining and you meet the clones. That was really fun. Even the underwater world with Jar Jar. As a kid, I liked. I liked the underwater aspect of it, but it's not the most important part for me in those movies. Yeah,
if you look at, like, I don't know, for me, A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back are the 2 best films, and there's a fewest number of locations there. It's like, you can go deeper in any one location. Like, I feel like half of the movie of A New Hope was spent on the Death Star, and half of it was on Tatooine. And I really got to know those locations. And I got to know the characters by seeing them in those locations.
So that's what I feel the same way with, like, Tatooine. Like, when you know Mos Eisley Cantina, and with one line, you know, it's this scum and villainy is like centered right there. You're like, this is cool, knowing that Jabba is there, and Jabba basically ran the underground crime, like he was a crime lord.
I thought she was going to say railroad. Jabba actually was a real good guy.
Transport system.
The mom, slave mom.
Yeah.
Slave mom.
Shmi? She has
slave
a name.
I know. I was going to say Shmi, and then I went to, I was like, no, I'm thinking of Hook. I'm thinking of Peter Pan.
Oh, Shmi,
yeah, exactly.
But what I think that the more you know about a planet and the history there, the more you have to associate with it. And I felt a little bit, not betrayed, but, you know, when The Force Awakens first came out and we see this desert planet, we're like, oh, we're back at Tatooine. And it's like, no, it's Jakku. I'm like, what? Where? How? What is this? Is this same but different? And then it's like, oh, no, there was this huge battle there and all this took place. I'm like, well, it did now, but it didn't before. So they're adding in all these things, but it's all part of canon. And it's like, man, slow your roll.
You like going to what they already had, dive deeper rather than invent new, which is definitely...
Thank you for saying it to me, like making my point concise.
No. I'm trying to get on the same page as you because I disagree.
No, you're wrong.
No, it's not so much that I disagree. It's now that you put it that way, now I'm understanding my opinion better, which is that I think some of the movies should be adding and some of the movies should be diving deeper, and I think that's a great reason for like kind of the anthology that's happening on the side, where if it's main saga, it's like, okay, these are universe level or galaxy level at least. Movies are gonna introduce us to new worlds. Even the prequels doing that, you know, they're introducing us to these new places. But then on a side story, I would love like a bottle movie, a bottle episode or something. Kind of like what's the recent John Goodman movie, the Cloverfield, Cloverfield Lane, is a whole movie that mostly takes place downstairs and upstairs, right?
Yeah. Right.
And it's like, imagine if that movie was somehow in the Star Wars universe or something, like, and you're trying to, you know, you against a bounty hunter the whole time or something, and you're trying to protect your whole family.
Yeah, my favorite episode of Firefly, the Joss Whedon series, is the Out of Gas episode, which is a great sci-fi bottle episode of just like what happens when a character is just on a ship and it can't fly through space. And I feel like I would love to see a Star Wars equivalent of that. Like what happens when it's just someone kind of with a couple other people stranded.
We might get that in this movie though, right? Like on the little island with Luke, and you learn a little bit more about that.
Sure, I guess I'm saying like there's the moment you can leave the story, now you like it's not as hard to do, so they don't have to make it as amazing. But usually a bottle episode of a TV show is because they're trying to save money, so they have to set it in one location with the exact same characters, and they can shoot it all in like 1 or 2 days, and so they have to make that so good, and I think that'd be cool.
I just thought about this. I really dislike in sci-fi movies, especially space adventures, when you they go to a planet and they're like, here on the planet, everyone's a monk and everyone believes the same religion, and that's it. Like once you visit this one city, you basically know how the rest of the planet works. You're like, no, that's not how a planet's enormous, and it should have a very diverse population. So actually, I would like if it was more took place in one place. I want to learn more about it.
Yeah, if aliens land in like Alaska or whatever, and they're just like,
Earth,
okay,
it's
a miserable place. With Minnesota accents, they still know what Minnesota is.
I got the wrong place. I thought you said another one. I thought you said like, never mind.
No one expects you to be an expert on American geography, even though we're all experts on Australian geography. Ask us anything.
Where's Wollongong?
It's definitely
that's made up.
North.
That's a trick question. Mongong?
Wollongong.
That's more made up than I said.
Mahjong's the game you play.
So she doesn't know Australian geography either.
Well, speaking of Star Wars, it's my turn to talk about something I love: Hulk's future.
You
guys excited for this? Guys excited for this? Look at him.
So handsome.
He's got a great new haircut. Gotta say, I'm excited for Thor Ragnarok. But there's a big story this week, along with the premiere of Thor Ragnarok and Mark Ruffalo accidentally streaming the movie. But there's a plan apparently that Mark Ruffalo's been talking with Kevin Feige, and they have a plan for a trilogy for the Hulk, hidden in other MCU movies that he's going to star in. So like,
it's 2 for 1.
Yeah, exactly. Like, isn't that great? Because they can't trust the Hulk to bring in the big bucks at other movies. But my question for you guys is: do you think the Hulk deserves his own movie again, because he's already had 2, or how might keeping his story more confined be better for this character? Because
So I haven't seen Thor Ragnarok, but I have seen a lot of people's opinions about the movie, and they are now saying that this guy is their favorite Avenger after whatever happened. So I don't think that he was likable before, because he wasn't given much of a chance. And back when the movies happened, 14 and 12 or so. 14 and 10 years ago.
You mean the original Hulk movies?
Yeah.
Ang Lee one?
Yeah.
And then Edward Norton.
There you go. When you had Eric Banner as Bruce Banner, right?
And then Edward Norton later.
Oh yeah, that's his name. I was like, I couldn't remember that.
Obviously they flopped at the movies, and it was like, hey, this is giving superheroes a chance. But that was before Marvel figured out how to do a very clever and successful formulaic movie. And so now I think with the success of all the Avengers, and it's like, cool, we've got our very own Thor franchise and Iron Man franchise and Hulk. Hey, Hulk, here's the thing. You're going to tack on to another one, and then we'll see.
Yeah, I think there's something about the character of Hulk that like makes him more of a fun like party crasher character rather than one who you're going to follow as a solo film. Maybe that was the struggle.
Or like a team up. A team up would be really good. It's really fun to see how they, like, especially I like the Hulk they're going with in this movie where he can talk. Like, that's far more interesting because it's not just pure emotion. It's like Jekyll and Hyde. It's your comic book version.
And also, how else could they explore an arc if most of the time on the screen the guy can't communicate like anything, and he's just like
screaming,
an insane person screaming on the street. So a quick new Rockstars nugget for you to drop at a party. The reason why they have to do this, I wish it was like a great reason. Like the Hulk is best told in these small chunks or whatever, or in complementing someone else's story. It's just a rights issue. It's that Marvel does not have the distribution rights for an individual Hulk movie. So that's why it was always so confusing about if the Edward Norton Hulk movie was part of the Marvel Universe, which it is actually.
Because Tony Stark shows up in it.
Multiple characters now have transferred back and forth, right? Yeah. But it's still a partnership with Universal to do, and Marvel's like, we don't need to do partnerships with Universal, so they won't do it unless they get the full rights of being able to do it, so they can sneak in a movie inside of Marvel movies as long as they're not distributing a standalone Hulk movie.
Okay.
It's annoying, and you've heard me say it before. I hate rights issues. I think
But
they
that's a
ruin
clever
movies.
way to handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a lot of comic book companies do the same thing, like Caitlin Snow, Killer Frost on The Flash. There's like this whole rights issue. The guy who created the original character, there's 9 different iterations of Killer Frost, and he gets 0 money from it. Yeah, and he's so pissed. He's like, she's in a TV show now, and I see nothing from it. So it's interesting like that. They are very sneaky. I think it's a good idea because the Hulk I've liked the most is Avengers, and I'm gonna like him in Thor because I'm actually excited for a Thor movie, which is crazy. So good for you. I'm excited. I don't know who you're gonna pair him with now. Like next, it would be cool if like
Spider-Man, because they're going through the same thing.
Yeah.
with what?
Rights
the
issues.
rights issues. Yeah.
yeah.
I was thinking if you had Fantastic Four in, then you could do like a Thing and a Hulk.
Yeah.
Like team up like a big strong boy.
Like when The Rock and Mark Wahlberg did that movie where they're both just 2 jack guys robbing a bank.
Oh yeah, Pain and Gain.
Yeah.
I interviewed them for that, and their arms. I said, if you high five, will it cause a seismic blast?
I love that
They
movie.
didn't find it funny at all.
Those two. Mark Wahlberg seems like a gem. Real quick, speaking of people with personality disorder, back to the Hulk real quick. I love what the Hulk's core thing is. It's a split personality disorder, really.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why I think this is a bummer. That could be a hell of a good movie done right. Just one guy who's, when he goes dark, you can see it, and it ruins a whole freaking town, but also the people that he loves have to be scared of him. I think that could be great, but they have to kind of split it up. The only thing that I think they do benefit from is a Hulk standalone movie has nothing that can collide against him that is anywhere close to him. They have to put him with like Abomination or whatever, which is always like annoying because they're not worthy. So at least you put him with Thor, you put him with other Avengers. It's like people that can withstand a Hulk story and can take it.
Unless you have a psychological in the head thing as well that can control him.
What do you mean?
Well, if someone can get in his head and control his mind, then they have
Oh yeah,
a
and then
weapon
he
of their
becomes
own.
that's a great idea because then he's still even further his own villain. Yeah.
Oh, I do like in the comics sometimes they separate them, Banner and Hulk,
right.
and that way Banner has to figure out how to take out the Hulk, but really it becomes them having to sit down and talk with each other because they're the same person. He's the embodiment of him being abused as a child, and then Banner is the one repressing it, and so he's like, no, you actually need to address this. That's the only way you can coexist.
That's cool.
See, but again, you're not gonna have a lot of punching there. It's just a lot of talking.
Yeah, there's a Superman where they split him, Clark Kent and Superman. It's not very good.
Superman's like, bye.
They kind of are on the same page.
Yeah. Speaking of Superman,
The glasses die.
I want to bring up real quick the Justice League trailer.
Oh,
that we got recently, because it was a really good trailer, I thought.
Yeah.
But I feel like trailers are often manipulating us now. You didn't like it that much?
You just went somewhere.
Okay. So here, go with
I
me
don't
here.
think
and
I'm allowed to
maybe
say what I described it as. Sam, I told you. I don't think I can
Well,
say
it was
that.
mostly hate words. So no, you're not allowed to say no. No. You're welcome to. But hang on to my point for one sec. I think that we feel good about a trailer when they really nail it with a song choice.
There you go. Yeah,
And that's
kind
of what I was about to say about it, where it's like it's not new necessarily. It's just they use David Bowie's Heroes. And that kind of just like, man, this makes me have feelings, and it's a shortcut and it's a cheat, but it works so often. And a bunch of the other trailers have been doing that too. The Come Together one.
Yeah.
Hey, I love
trailers in general.
I ate that up. By the way, if you want to look it up, it's Gangs of Youth. They did that cover of this hero song. I looked it up because I immediately downloaded it. It was amazing. But go on, sorry.
Yeah. So I actually thought it'd be interesting to do what we're gonna try here. It's called a by comparison segment. Might come up with different names in the future based on what you guys decide. But by comparison, that sounds fun.
Literal.
So yeah, it's exactly what's about to happen. I just want to talk about memorable song choices that were sampled in other movie trailers, and then see how they kind of like, were they accurate to what that movie ended up being? How did they affect how you thought that movie would be? So for instance, like a famous example is the Bohemian Rhapsody usage in Suicide Squad, and what that movie actually was versus that.
Sam's cringe
but
face.
also, bring up any other one that you think is
Yeah, the one that comes to mind for me is in Logan, the cover of Nine Inch Nails' "Hurt" by Johnny
Yeah,
Cash.
that
Do you
was
remember that I
fantastic.
called that?
Did you call they were going to use it?
Way back on that alternate universe called Source of Nerd, we heard that they were going to be doing Logan, and then it's in a video somewhere, and I'm like, here's my pitch. I think you do it maybe in black and white, which they ended up doing a black and white release, and I was like, somehow get Johnny Cash's hurt in there, and then that's the first trailer. And I didn't see any money from that.
In the comments, link that video and the time code down below so he can get his victory.
If you can't find it, just say, that's fine. I'm sure it's still there.
And but they also use Way Down We Go, and I think it's Calio. That's the name of it. Yeah. Both songs really capture how dark that movie was. And so
that movie, you're saying, nailed a song choice that you were getting a glimpse at the feelings you were going to feel in that movie.
Okay, and so was your question, is this like a cheat or just a good example?
It's kind of like, let's look at a couple and see, like, okay, is this something that is being used to cheat and manipulate us, or is it something that actually is doing a good job of giving us a sneak peek at our emotional state when we watch it.
But aren't movies manipulative anyways? Like, that's the point.
Well, if they're done right, but here's I'll give it right there again with Bohemian Rhapsody. We all fell in love with Suicide Squad on that trailer, but not the one before it. No. And then the amount that we fell in love with that is what changed that movie so crazily, where people probably know the story, but if you don't, the Bohemian Rhapsody edit on that trailer was done by a trailer house. They timed it to the song, and then the bullets hit, and everybody
reported on that.
Everybody loved that. We loved it too, and the reaction was so strong that that Warner's realized that's not our movie though. Right. We just got this really wrong. We made people feel this way. Our movie is not that. So they asked the trailer house to recut the movie and make a new version of Suicide Squad.
Because the trailer was so good.
That's why there's 90 songs, excuse me for cursing, but 90 songs in the first 10 minutes of the movie. Like, everybody has three theme songs. You're like, oh my god,
the movie is a bunch of trailers. So
I think it's really good when whoever cuts the trailer, usually they have a post-production house outside of the film's creative team who does it, but if they can work in conjunction with the director, like I believe David Fincher had a lot of say in the cut of the trailer for The Social Network, which
with the Trent
Reznor, but the song that was used in the trailer was that cover of Creep by Radiohead. That was just amazing. That trailer felt like its own short film that almost like it was exactly really the kind of themes of that social anxiety of having to like put your entire digital presence online and have that be who you are now, what your identity is.
So they developed a cover that was more representative of what they wanted to do, because it was also that like chorus of just like young people's
female chorus,
it's like snowing and I remember that. It was a good trailer.
Which is representative of kind of what the Social Network was. It's just this dark, creepy thing, but that all these young people are doing together.
So if it comes out of the themes of the movie and is able to make a statement about what kind of film this is that's actually accurate and not deceptive, then it can be a really great film.
They definitely want you to feel like, no guys, like they're not like punching each other and like calling each other names, like they're actually having a great time, and look, they're saving the world at the same time. I don't know if it's gonna pay off, but hey, the trailer got me.
Because I also want them to punch each other. Like sometimes I want it to be literal. Right, like the Black Sabbath Iron Man one, where it's like, he's Iron Man. That's literal. That's what the song is saying, and that's what the movie ended up being. I like that.
Right. Well, the point of the trailer though is to get bums in seats for the cinema. So if they are going to say, hey, we're going to use this particular song because this song in itself has a history and it's going to connect with you in a way that maybe our movie won't, but it's going to add another layer to it. Social Network's a great example. It's like this song's been around for so long, everyone knows the song, but then when pairing it in a new kind of way, it provides a different tone. Everyone's just like, whoa, not only am I seeing that what's happening in the trailer, but I'm feeling it, and it's invoking 20 years of hearing this particular song. I'm not mad at it, and it's that same sort of thing, like with going back to why I'm fighting for Star Wars to stick with the planets that we know. It's like we already have the history there. And then you apply the history to new characters. Same thing with this trailer. The history of the song then adds to what you're seeing in the trailer. So
I think that's a great point, as long as they honor that when your butt is in the seat. Right. Once you go there, if you're like, this is not what I was feeling, the 20 years that I brought into this.
See, I don't. I say, you know what? Gosh, Suicide Squad was a bad movie, but they did such a good trailer. Good on them.
Really?
Yeah.
I did that with Man of Steel. Man of Steel had one of the best trailers of all time. Zack Snyder knows how to cut those.
That was an amazing trailer. But then also, so you were talking about experiences. Well, I actually like Man of Steel a lot. But you're talking about experiences where people feel disappointed at the end of the movie and they can't put their finger on it. And it's like you felt something before you saw this movie that you did not end up feeling when you watched it. That sucks for you.
I just want to shout out, I think it was the first Justice trailer that used White Stripes. Was it Icky Thumb? Was that
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it,
great.
guys. That was so good because immediately I just wanted to rock. And it was like, cool, I care. This next trailer, though, nope.
And speaking of trailer music, we pointed this out earlier, and also in the breakdown, I kind of dug into this. The Last Jedi trailer used some awesome music choices that did reference things that we had memories of from past films, using John Williams' score from The Force Awakens, using a mix of like Kylo's theme and the Jedi Steps music from the end of that movie, but also like mixing in a subtle Imperial March homage in there. So like, using music that specifically links back to some memory, some nostalgia can be a really effective way.
That's fascinating that Star Wars culturally, the score of that, there's no words, right? No. The score of that is so raw theme that we hear Imperial March and we're like, oh no, the bad guys are going to close in. Like we know exactly what these things mean. And that's all everyone's trying to do with these trailers is like, oh, there's going to be some fun in this movie. Oh no, there's going to be a dark part. He's going to hurt himself today.
Right.
Like, it's just interesting that Star Wars has done that so effectively.
Yeah.
John Williams. It's amazing.
Cool.
What I
have another little segment if I may. We're going to try a new thing called Pitch Me. So we're going to move on to talk about Stranger Things for a second.
Pitch.
Don't worry. That's what they call me.
The littlest pitch.
But Stranger Things, they dropped, it's about to air in 2 weeks, so they dropped a final, hopefully, trailer. There's no need to make any more. And one of the theories we had while watching the trailer is that they like to use a lot of pop culture references from the time to kind of help the story move along. Like the boys might use it as a strategy.
Well, they're Ghostbusters in this one.
Exactly.
Well, and I read somewhere they are actively like they have a list of references that they're like, let's make sure to put these in season 2.
The first one was Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know about you guys, but when these 4 boys who are maybe 10 are playing Dungeons and Dragons, and that Will uses Fireball as a wizard. I was playing D&D and I had a wizard character that was using Fireball. That is 66 damage, guys. And it's AoE magic. But they actually did that in the series.
Yeah, it's cool. That's how they've solved the problem, basically, which was really fun. And this first trailer, that you got your Ghostbusters trap to trap something. I don't know. We'll see how that works out. But in the newest trailer, we see a slingshot. Who was using it? Lucas. Lucas was using it, and he used it last season as well, which is, of course, a reference to Beverly from the original It. Yeah, there you go.
A reference,
the shot is a reference to
I didn't know that.
When Beverly used it to shoot a chunk of silver at Pennywise, which was really cool.
Right. That's the whole sequence. In the new It movie, they didn't use this exact sequence, but this is the one that stuck with me as a kid because it was little kids defeating a monster, but using their imagination at the same time.
And a little Dennis the Menace toy to
exactly.
It works. Yeah.
Which I'm not kidding. I bought that kind of slingshot after seeing It.
And you killed so many clowns.
It's just like you cut me buying it and then me with an iPad.
But okay, so the segment for Pitch Me, I'm curious, what do you guys think what other popular games or toys from that era do you think are going to be weaponized? That's important. So out of that era, obviously, I know that era. I grew up in it. Clearly,
we didn't, but
so
I'm pretty good.
Let me tell you about it.
Okay.
But what do you guys think? Because I know Ego was a big thing last season. Now they have an Ego game that's coming out for Stranger Things, which is amazing. What do you guys think? What would you like?
I'll pitch you. I want to see a character use a Stretch Armstrong to like strangle somebody with it. So it's like cool. Stretch is just like hugging someone by the neck and he's taking them down.
The goose starting to come out. Like, hold it together, Stretch. I don't know. I won't say as a weapon for them to use, but I would love for somehow. A perfect way to do it. Actually, 11 to creep the hell out of everyone by using. Okay, I don't know if you guys know this. In the 80s, dolls were way cooler than they are now, and dolls were animatronic. And they could walk on their own, and like Teddy Ruxpin also was one that could talk and like move. And so my sister had, but I played with it. This like 3 foot tall little girl, and she just could be like, hug me, and she'll walk towards you. I would love to see just that little creep coming up.
You made her cry.
You went somewhere.
A walking doll?
Now I've seen everything. It's basically a robot mod.
A robot.
Yeah, I want to see a little kid baby robot.
Well, you couldn't say C-3PO and keep it in a nice fun. It
Well,
had to
it's
be
like
this
C-3PO.
creepy doll.
You have to think of C-3PO. If C-3PO is the inner skeleton and his skin has been peeled off,
And he's wearing a
that's what
dress.
C-3PO
Yeah.
is.
So mine would be Hungry Hungry Hippos.
Weaponized.
But yeah, so it's like this thing
Really
comes out
hungry.
and it's like rom, and it just disappears and it's gone.
Ooh.
So like, you know, the marbles kind of like
Oh.
you have to chew and get the marbles, but yeah, this thing's just like, I don't know how you have it, but I mean, like, you know, Ghostbusters, they have a stream and you can't cross, but this one it'd be like rom, rom, and
They're
then it's just
eating
gone.
eyeballs.
Yeah, it's just something. But like, I like the fact that whatever it eats disappears forever. Is gone.
Is gone.
This is a whole new series. Like, it's just about the Hungry Hungry Hippos. Like, it just.
Oh, they're hungry.
Yeah.
But how hungry?
I don't want this, but it's all I can think of. So,
Pitch me. Hey, little pitch.
what is it? Not Sock'em Boppers, but
Talking about robots?
Rock'em Sock'em.
Oh.
We're gonna get a reference to that. They're gonna be playing it earlier, and then like one like super beefy. Sean Astin's gonna do it because he's in the season, and he's just gonna like uppercut a demon or some shit in the face, and it's gonna like shoot up and hit the ceiling or something, and then come back down, and like it'll be fine. I don't know, but like it's gonna get some kind of reference like that, or I'd want that.
To be clear, like we kind of explained it, but we sound like crazy people right now. But the reason we're thinking of this is if you go back and watch season 1, watch it again with the eye on the way they're using the toys and the way they're making the references. Then later in the season, those things keep coming back as the way they use the attack methods and stuff. We should have been real clear about that part. Now it's just like we're like, what if toys came to life and it was evil Toy Story?
Yeah.
No. But yeah, what toys did you like that you think would be fun as weaponized? And so I'm going with Rock'em Sock'em.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's actually take a look at what videos we have in the pipeline for next week on New Rockstars, because we don't want to have to just keep surprising you with what videos we're making. You can look forward to. So we were talking about Stranger Things. We're gonna have a new trailer breakdown for Stranger Things.
Nice.
What else do we have in the pipeline?
You've been doing this great thing where, I mean, this was everyone and their mother that is subscribed to New Rockstars.
You leave my mother out of
Yeah,
this.
your mother's subscribed to New Rockstars. She is. They wanted to see Game of Thrones breakdowns from the beginning, and so we're trying it out as best as we can. You guys know how much work the Game of Thrones breakdowns are, so it's a little hard, but we are trying to stick to it. What episode are you on right now?
Episode 2. It's currently being
the
Season
series.
one.
of the series. Yeah, season 1, episode 2, The King's Road. That's the sad departure of the direwolf lady, if you remember.
Oh,
but also the
gosh.
episode where Joffrey gets like slapped and beaten up
Yes.
several
Yes.
times.
Nice.
So there's a
Yes.
lot of satisfaction. But there's a lot of interesting, like subtle foreshadowing that they end up doing, especially when it comes to the mystery of who is Jon Snow's mother. Sean Bean knows some stuff way before I feel like even George R. R. Martin did. So it's interesting to rewatch this episode. And
Yeah.
point
Also,
out
I mean, rewatch the series along with us.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And-
What else do you have? You have a video coming out.
I do. I did a first breakdown of The Flash Season 4, Episode 1, which you can check out right now. But also, I'm going to be doing Episode 2. I've been looking for all those Easter eggs. They got a bunch of fun characters coming out. And I already think I have a pretty clear path of how the season's going to break down, because they're literally copying one of the most popular Flash
Rebirth.
things. No, it's when Jeff Johns wrote for Wally West. It's literally
His favorite one
the
as well.
same. It's the same. So, guys, check it out. It's really fun.
Cool.
That's cool. And then we also have a Black Panther trailer breakdown. And what else do you need to know? You'll find out next week when we do this same thing. Again, it's really one of the things I'm most excited about is that you guys are now going to be sending us and tagging us at New Rockstars on Stardust to be in these videos, and then we're going to be reacting directly to what you guys are talking about.
Pull
you
up
guys,
a chair right here.
Yeah, you
you
can
can be
put
in
your
the
little,
show.
a little skinless robot here that has your face on it.
But it's totally easy because it's only 30 seconds and all you're doing is just giving your actual raw, genuine reaction to the things that we've been talking about anyway. So you can unleash yourself and tag it, upload it, and boom, you can be on the show.
Yeah,
Go
and then just make
full
sure.
nerd.
Oh, and like throw in. I mean, give us your reactions because we'll be posting those. But also, flat out, ask us questions in your video, and we'll answer your questions here on screen.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Just make sure to do at New Rockstars as the text on the video, and that's how you link to us. Also, there'll be a link in the description of like how to get it and how to follow us on there, so you can see our BTS style creepy content of the way we are when we're not in the studio. Just follow us on there at Sam Basher, at Fimo, at New Rockstars, and like share your reactions to us immediately, and we'll also be interacting with you in the app too. Mod, What is the answer to the trivia question?
Okay, so yeah, you may have noticed a little while ago, I asked all of you guys, how many deaths have occurred on Game of Thrones season 1 through to season 7? There were parameters with it, but obviously the number's huge.
What did we say? 10,050?
No, mine was closer to...
Yours was 10,050. Mine was 10,000.
10,000.
1,000.
Mine was 1,000. Mine was 3,770.
Yeah.
The real answer is 2019.
Wow.
Which is in 2 years' time. So 2019, technically that makes
1760, and you're within 1,000. Hey,
you're the winner.
Hey.
So you're the winner. So you'll be able to close out the show and basically talk to us any way you want and describe us in any manner, and we can't
who
get
was the
upset
furthest
or
away?
offended.
Sam.
But Sam was the furthest away.
No, the rules of
Clearly
that
indicated.
Bob Barker show is whoever gets lower is the loser, right? Not the guy who goes over.
Real quick, as we're wrapping up and you're building up the courage to this, we're going to give everybody 30 seconds to just give a 30-second shout-out to anything that you think is real cool that you want to talk about. Anybody want to go first?
Yeah, I will. Hey, shout out video games, Overwatch. They've bumped up a few new characters, not new characters, but characters' traits. And I'm happy to announce, I'm a Mercy main, which means heroes never die on my watch. There you go. You don't understand any of it, but it's pretty cool.
He's thinking about sucking on your spit.
Sorry, I'm super distracted right
Sucking
now.
on my spit?
Unrelated to that, what are you
you
super
look
excited about?
thirsty.
Right before the parched. I would like to talk about a TV show that you guys need to watch. It's on Netflix, so you guys are gonna watch Stranger Things. You're gonna watch this right before American Vandal. It stars Jimmy Tatro, and he created it. If you like true crime and dick jokes, you're gonna love this. It's amazing. It's seriously like the first episode.
It's surprisingly good.
It's surprisingly good. You think it's like, oh, it's just gonna be frat humor, but then when it gets to episode 2, you're like, oh shit, this might be dealing with real serious problems in society. Go check it out. It's really good.
Time?
Yeah.
Cool.
My 30 seconds, there's another comedy show. I love American Vandal, but I'm really digging the new season of Nathan For You on Comedy Central.
Oh, it's back? Oh, I didn't even know it was back.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is like, if you haven't seen it, you got to check the show out. Nathan Fielder is this really soft-spoken Canadian comedian who's super funny, but he does this like how to help your business, but he comes up with these crazy roundabout ways to help your business that seem completely self-defeating. It's extremely funny, and really it just deals with his like personal awkward connections with people. Yeah, so check it out.
Love that show.
Yeah, and then my thing, I'm actually crazy excited about. You guys are going to hear a lot more about this in the future. We're starting to do merch, and guys, like one of the main reasons that we delayed doing merch is because I've never liked when I see a channel's merch and it's just like, that's only your logo and that's it, or it's only something really boring. We instead like worked really hard and we got really awesome designs that we like have been going back and forth on. I can give you a sneak peek hopefully right here. If you can. These are clothes that I would actually want to wear, and that's what our merch is going to be like. And also if you have ideas for clothes like that you want us to make, we're like, just let us know in the comments and we will try to make them for you. I'm so excited. Plus, Apocalypse actually is starting to hurt, so the merch could help so much.
Yeah.
But that covers us. Eric, why don't you do our goodbyes while this happens?
Did you finish it?
Cheers.
I did
You
it
did
already.
finish, right?
Yeah, you gotta drink my water. Cheers.
Oh, yum, yum, yum. All right, everyone. While you're okay, this concludes our very first episode of The Need to Know. And once again, we just want to encourage you to go check out Stardust, looking at our link below in the description as you try to not
You want some
get too
more?
grossed out here.
No.
By
Make more? No!
no. This, okay. Remember, please like and share this video, subscribe to New Rockstars, and let us know your thoughts on this format. What kind of segments did you like? What kind of topics do you want to see us cover more? And yeah, using my victory lap here. Big thanks to our host, Flippo Momimo. Yeah, you can catch him at
Man, you nailed me.
At Stinko. Yeah. Maud Garrett.
I got you.
Marty, what? Garrett. I'm just being like.
You're just the weird one.
A character who can't read. Sam
read.
Basher.
You got me, man.
Bash. No one's inviting you to their bash.
Winning's not great, is it?
I think there was a curse word in there as to why people won't invite you to their bash. It's because you might turn to a curse word.
And Eric Voss had EA Voss. Yeah.
EA Voss.
Bye, I'm Eric Voss.
See you next week.
Bye, everybody. See you next week.
Listen, spit out.
Flippo Momingo.
Flippo Momingo.